Prayers, hymns, and the spiritual battlefield. War is often remembered for its noise, the clashing of weapons, the cries of men, the thunder of movement across the soil. But the war scroll reveals something unexpected. Before the weapons were raised, before the first line advances, there are voices, prayers, hymns, and declarations, not as ritual alone, but as weapons of a different kind. Because in this battle, victory does not begin with strength, it begins with alignment to God. The sound before the sword. The armies of the Son of Light do not rush forward in silence or chaos. They begin with prayer, words carefully spoken, blessings intentionally declared. The priests stand before the people and speak, "Blessed are you, O God of Israel, who keeps covenant and shows mercy to those who walk in your truth." Those are not empty phrases, they are reminders. God is not distant. He is present, active, and engaged in the outcome. The people respond, not with fear, but with praise. Because before the battle even begins, they acknowledge something critical. The victory does not belong to them, it belongs to God. The role of the priests. In most wars, leaders shout commands. Here the priests do something different. They strengthen the heart. They speak courage into the fearful. They call the people back to truth, and they remind them, "You are not alone. You do not fight by your own hand, and the God of heaven goes before you." Their role is not merely ceremonial, it is foundational, because fear can break an army faster than any enemy, and truth spoken at the right moment can steady even the trembling soul. As the battle unfolds, the prayers do not stop. They continue, in the movement, in the pressure, and in the uncertainty. The people cry out, "Rise up, O God, and let your enemies be scattered. Let those who hate you flee before you." These are not polite prayers. They are bold, direct, and filled with urgency. This is not a passive faith. It is a faith that calls upon God in the middle of the storm. There is another element, one that may sound unfamiliar to modern ears, the cursing of Belial, not as hatred born of men, but as a declaration against evil itself. Cursed be Belial in his wicked design, and all the spirits of his lot be brought to nothing. This is not personal vengeance, it is alignment with God's justice, a recognition that evil is real and that it must be opposed, not negotiated with and not excused, but confronted. At the center of it all is one truth: God intervenes. This is not a distant deity watching from afar. This is the God who acts, the God who steps into history, the God who fights for his people. The war scroll speaks of the moment called the day of God's hand, a day when divine power is no longer hidden, when heaven moves openly, when what was unseen becomes undeniable. This is the true turning point, not strategy, not numbers, but the hand of God. Running through these prayers and hymns is a clear vision of reality. Two sides, two paths, two kingdoms, the sons of light, and the forces aligned with darkness. There is no blending, no middle ground. This is not a story of balance, it's a story of conflict. A recognition that truth and falsehood, righteousness and corruption cannot coexist without tension. And yet the tone is not despair, it is confidence, because the outcome is not uncertain. When the battle turns, when the enemy falls back, when the dust begins to settle, the voices rise again, but this time in praise. Blessed be the God of Israel, who has given victory to his people. By his hand we stand, and by his power the enemy is defeated. The people do not claim glory. They do not boast in their strength. They remember, it was never theirs to begin with. These ancient words are not locked in the past. They speak forward, because the battlefield may look different today, but the need is the same. There are still moments before the struggle, when the heart must choose. Will you enter with fear or with faith? There are still moments in the middle of pressure, when the voice must rise. Will you call out or fall silent? There are still moments after the victory when the soul must decide, will you take the credit or give the glory? The war scroll reminds us of something easily forgotten. Before the sword, there is the word. Before the battle, there is the prayer. Before the victory, there is surrender. And in the end, it is not the loudest army that prevails. It is the one that knows who fights for them. The day of God's hand will come. The question is not whether he will move. The question is, will you be found among those who trusted him before the battle ever began? God bless you and have a good day.